Above the distant mountains, where the winds sang their quiet tunes, a small cloud named Hema floated in the sky. She wasn't like the other clouds, ones that rolled in heavy and dark, roaring and thundering, letting their rains fall freely. No, Hema was different. She didn't like rain. It wasn't that she couldn't rain. Clouds like her were made for it. But every time her belly filled with drops, she'd tighten her little puffed hands and pull the water closer to her heart. She was afraid of upsetting someone. What if her rain interrupted a bird's song, or ruined a child's delicate chalk drawing on the ground? What if it fell too hard and harmed a flower trying to bloom? Hema watched the world beneath her with quiet curiosity. She saw people running in the rain, huddled under umbrellas and coverings. She saw animals burrowing in to escape a storm. She saw birds flying away from wet skies. Rain, she decided, must be sadness. And Hema didn't want to be a sad cloud. And so Hema floated on, determined to keep her rain from falling, wanting nothing more than to be a cloud of joy, not sadness. One day, Hema drifted over a small village. At first, she didn't think much of it, just another peaceful place. But as she floated lower, she began to notice something unusual. The earth was cracked, its skin dry and peeling. The trees stood stiffly, their leaves dull and colorless. The flowers drooped, lifeless, and the children were all staring up at her with wide, hopeful eyes, their faces framed by the harsh golden sun. The village was thirsty, parched beyond words. It needed rain, and yet Hema hesitated. If she rained, she thought, it might scare someone. What if the sound of her droplets was too loud? What if her water ruined a child's drawing, scratched into the brittle dirt? What if the birds that found shade here flew far away, never to return? Hema didn't know what to do, and so she waited. As she sat unsure, a small bird with soft brown wings landed on her puffed edge. Its name was Revo. The bird didn't say anything, didn't ask for rain, but instead sang a gentle melody. Its notes flowed over Hema, twisting and swirling like streams of water. The song didn't demand, it didn't scold, and yet it moved something inside her. Hema's heart trembled, and just as the song ended, she felt it, her first drop. It fell quietly, timidly. Then came the second, and then the third. It wasn't a storm, not the loud kind she feared. It was a gentle rain, soft and cool, slipping through cracks in the soil as if kissing the earth. As Hema continued, pouring her held-back love drop by drop, she saw the world below transform. The children twirled and laughed, stomping in puddles and catching her raindrops on their tongues. The trees lifted their branches, stretching toward her in joy. The flowers unfurled their petals, drinking in the life she offered. Even the earth smiled, soaked in warmth. For the first time, Hema understood something she hadn't before. Rain wasn't sadness, it wasn't wild destruction or harm. It was love, a gift from her heart to the world, a tender touch that revived what had lost hope. From that day forward, Hema stopped hoarding her drops. Whenever she found a cracked earth, a drooping tree, or eyes staring at her in hope, she let herself rain. Each time it was soft and quiet, disappearing as gently as it had come. Hema's gift felt like a prayer, answered in the way only the sky could give. Because Hema had learned that giving wasn't weakness, it wasn't loss. It was the most beautiful thing a cloud could do. When love flows freely, gently, it revives the world anew. And somewhere above the distant mountains, Hema smiles, waiting for the next thirsty ground that needs her touch.